Well, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know this is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Each week, we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're trying not to eat the entire stock of Halloween candy, we'll be caching in the Northwest. And, you know, we can't do that until we... Oh, wait a minute. We can do that because there's no monkey to bring in tonight.
I was going to say... We can eat all the Halloween candy. Who's to say we can't?
The store has more.
That's right. There's more where that came from.
I don't know if there's going to be any kids out trick-or-treating or what's allowed. It's weird this year.
Yeah, everything's weird this year.
It's 2020 weird.
Yeah.
But tonight, we are going to be talking about the GeoCache adventure of Shaketown with Jessica Bushy. Jessica, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, love to have you here. But before we get into that, and we're anxious to hear all about Shaketown, we're going to talk about, the things we normally talk about, and we'd like to take a moment to remind people we appreciate the support of our patrons. You know, our patrons help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. We'd also like to thank especially Land Sharks. They are our corporate Denali level sponsor. And if you, yes you, would like to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link. You can find that over on the cachingandw.com website.
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done.
Channel my inner land monkey there.
And folks, another thing that we love are glows. What is a glow, you may ask? Why, that's our geocaching log of the week. So whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a field recording to feedback@cachingandw.com. You can call into 253-693-TFTC right there with your own voice and let us know how you glow.
And this week's glow, let's see, it says, I'd like to nominate Island Finder's FTF log. It's a FTF glow. How about that? This was on GC90 Kilo Romeo November, Haven by the Gorge for a glow. The sender nominated this glow because of its coolness factor. And the log reads, FTF! I had just finished visiting with my mother and plugged the coordinates into my GPS only to see the cache was a mere 70 meters from me. I took a stroll to ground zero and quickly found the cache. I think it's appropriate that I got FTF since I purchased the item that the cache is attached to. It's a memorial to my stepfather. Thanks, OB75, for the nice hide in this lovely park.
You know what I forgot to mention? That Helen from the Land Sharks submitted that
Oh,
one.
thank you. I was wondering who did that because I didn't see them listed there. Thanks, Helen. And I agree with the hider, the logger there, that, you know, if you purchase that item that they attach the cache to, you deserve FTF.
I think you should get it anyway then, right?
Yeah. That's great.
Hey, folks, if you want to join in our discussion tonight, use the hashtag Shaketown to bring things up, and we'll talk about them right here tonight during our chat. And, of course, you can use the hashtag FATAS to add things for the after show. Didn't have an echo. Didn't quite sound the same.
It's early yet.
The after show. No, it didn't work.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Maybe I can do it a little later.
Yeah, I think so. It's too early for the echo.
We've got a couple of news items tonight. The first one is from New Haven, Connecticut. Now, I know that's not the Northwest. Perhaps it's the northwest of Connecticut. I don't exactly know.
Yeah, it's northwest of somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Sleeping Giant State Park was closed for a period Saturday afternoon as law enforcement investigated a suspicious item that was later to be determined a geocache, according to the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. Will Healy, a spokesman for DEEP. Isn't that a great
I just say I love the acronym there. Department of Energy and Environmental Justice, known as DEEP.
I'm here on official DEEP business.
Yes.
Just simply said that they were investigating a suspicious item. There's no public safety concern at the time. And then Captain Ronald Smith said the item was on a ledge away from walking trails. And at 9:10 p.m., the item was determined to be a geocache, and the site was cleared. So Smith said the device was removed by state police with the help of the Hamden firefighters and described as plastic tubing containing a notepad, writing materials, and resembled a pipe bomb. Folks, don't do that.
I have found caches that resemble pipe bombs.
Yes.
But
also in news,
yes,
a little happier news. Could be happier unless you've missed out, unless you're having a little FOMO. The WSGA, that's the Washington State Geocaching Association, launched the Spot the Ape tags today.
I heard something about that.
Are on sale today to WSGA members only. There's two sizes of hider packets, either 3 to hide or 2 to hide. The game will start October 31st. The game boundaries are the U.S. and Canada. I hope Land Monkey's listening. And Canada. The 8 booster packets, that's supporter swag, basically, will be available to all, but in limited quantities. Now, they had a huge response to this, bigger than they thought. In fact, the site maxed out of capacity within the first hour. They sold out all the mega hider packs. There's only 5 as we went to air of the regular hider packs left.
Methinks those won't be there for long if they're still there.
Exactly. They had 20 of those special 3-pack of ape coins. Those have sold out. So, incredible response to this. We will have the Ape Queen on our next show to give us the details.
Oh, right. That'll be great. Always fun to have Jesse along. That's all for the news for tonight?
That's it for now.
All right, because I'm anxious to learn about Shaketown, and for that, we've brought Jessica. I'd like to give you another official welcome to the show, and maybe take a moment to introduce yourself to our listeners. Tell us, what you do in your day job, where you're from, ATM pin, social security number, all those kind. No. Okay, maybe a couple of those, but you choose.
Okay, so hi, everyone. I'm the archivist at the North Vancouver Museum and Archive, which is actually in Shaketown, which is now called Lynn Valley in North Van, and is the unceded territory of the Tsleil-Waututh and Squamish First Nations. And let me see, geocaching. I'm a total newbie to it. This is my first geocache, and I'm hooked. And I live in Vancouver. And that's
fantastic.
Personal information you're getting out of it.
That's more than enough. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
And, it's fine being a newbie. We were all newbies once.
Absolutely, yeah.
In fact, Wits End took me to my very first geocache. So, yeah, it was.
He's never been the same since.
No. Wait, is that good? Anyway, I won't tell you if it's been good or bad, but you need to go have your own experience there. Now, you're here to tell us about the geocache adventure of Shaketown. But before we get to that, what is Shaketown? I mean, you've already referred to it by another name. And obviously, there's got to be some historical significance. Can you get into that a little bit?
Sure. So Shaketown was the name given to Lynn Valley before it was really Lynn Valley. So in 1906, it was the second largest non-Indigenous settlement on the North Shore. And so it became really popular, place to live, and it was referred to as Shaketown because there was a mill that created cedar shakes.
Okay.
And we all know that area, so there's a big mountains, and they would use flumes to basically do water slides of cedar logs and cedar shakes that would go ripping down the mountain. And so a community built up around a place to work, the industry that was there, and that's how it became Shaketown.
Nice. Shaketown. That makes a lot of sense. You see, these names, they just don't, make up a name that doesn't make any sense. There's always history behind it, but, when you first hear it, you go, I don't know why it's named that.
Yeah, but I'm suddenly craving a vanilla shake.
No, that's not the way this works.
I'm still craving one. It doesn't matter if
Okay.
that's how it works.
You'll have to go out to drive through afterwards or have it delivered.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how these things work.
That would be interesting. Uber Eats right in the middle of the podcast.
Ooh. Excuse me. Thank you.
Okay, bring us back on track here.
I just have water. My shake is a little thin tonight.
Yeah, shake. Now, that's not Shaketown, which is Southern California, as I recall.
Right.
GSM times 2 said that in the chat too, but I know that is Shaketown and not for the Shakey's Pizza. So let's just leave it at that.
Okay. So, Jessica, what exactly is the geocache adventure of Shaketown? Are there geocaches to find? How many of them?
Okay, so I'm describing it as a time machine adventure into the past. So we're celebrating a 100-year anniversary of the building that the archives is in, but before it was an archives 100 years ago, it was the 4th Lynn Valley Elementary School. So the Shaketown adventure is a time machine to the past where you learn about what things were like 100 years ago. You see archival images, you get videos as rewards for some of your stops, but you don't get any caches. Sorry. It was my first geocache. So I was just so fascinated really by everything you can do. I kind of missed that little key point about the cache. Next time.
It's okay. The adventure is half the fun, just the experience. Mm-hmm. And the history always fascinates me. And, if you want to get me hooked on anything, just mention time travel and I'm in.
Yeah.
So you set this up, so you know it very well. How long would you say somebody wants to go and visit and do all this? How long would it take somebody to do this? And do they need any special gear or fitness levels to accomplish the tasks? Or
Sure. So I think you can do it in about an hour. It depends on how slow you want to take it, how well you know the area. It's very easy. There's sidewalks. So, if you have mobility issues, you can totally join in. I would say that fitness level, again, probably easy. There's no scrambling up sides of mountains or climbing trees. It's probably easy, but what you might want to bring is an umbrella, a raincoat, because it's on the North Shore and everybody should know around here that means rain. So you might get some of that. And I would say maybe bring headphones if you don't have them already, because we have some really cool videos that are part of the rewards. And it might just be really great to immerse yourself in it and listen and see the cool images and facts and all the rest of that. Mm-hmm.
Sounds great. Yeah. Yeah. It's the Northwest. It rains for sure.
I don't know what rain is. Anyway.
Oh, we know rain. It's just we don't all have umbrellas. Sometimes we just go out and get wet. But It's a good thing. I have one in my car. They're a good thing to have.
I don't think you're allowed to use them in Seattle. Nobody in Seattle carries umbrellas. They just
yes, they all carry umbrellas and face masks and fireworks. Never mind. I'm not going to go down that road.
No, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
When it's raining.
No, they don't use them for the rain. No, that's different. Move along. Nothing to see here.
Let's move along. Jessica, how's the uptake with the community been so far? Are you getting new people to the game to come and try out this adventure?
Well, I feel like I'm the new person to the game. So we're new to the game. I mean, the North Vancouver Museum and Archives, this is our second geocache adventure as an organization, the first one for me, for the archives team. And so we're new, But I would say, I went to the activity log that you can check in on, and that was great. We've got some really positive feedback. It seems like on Thanksgiving, a lot of people took the time to do the adventure and leave some comments. And I've responded to some of that. So I went from having it be synchronous to asynchronous. I heard, and that's maybe for your community to give me some feedback even on the chat tonight. I didn't know. I kind of thought maybe people want to do things in a linear way, but what I learned is that if someone gets kind of stumped on one of the questions, they prefer if it's asynchronous, they can kind of, go and do the other ones and not get stuck and get blocked from moving forward.
Nice. That really makes a lot of sense. I mean, I understand, forcing people to go through a progression, especially with history, right, as you build on the site. But there are times that, especially if there's children involved, you can't necessarily do things in a linear fashion like you like. Or as, parents, you don't get to do anything you like anymore. I've been there. Okay. Now, you mentioned the previous GeoCache adventure. That was Shipyard Pals.
Yeah.
In fact, we talked with, I just lost her name.
Carol Ballard.
Carol, thank you. 7 weeks ago. So 7 episodes ago.
Yeah, she had a great time with you guys.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
We enjoyed having her as a guest.
You did a fabulous job. Now, Jessica, is there anything we need to know about parking or getting to the archives of North Vancouver in order to start this adventure?
Sure. So there's free street parking all over the place, which is great. There's a bike lockup, a secure bike lockup if you want to come by bike, and it's accessible by bus if people are taking public transit. There's a stop right out in front of the archives on Mountain Highway. So all 3 ways you can get there.
Sounds really convenient, and free is in my budget, so that's always a plus with me. I can't exactly drive to Canada right at the moment, but down the road, that will come back.
Yes.
All right. So, what kind of interactions are history? I finding the older I get, the more I really am enjoying history.
Great.
You've lived.
Well, that's my life is history now. It's one of those things. It's weird. In grade school, I thought, oh, history. I hate this subject. Why do we have to learn this stuff? And the older I get, the more I appreciate it. So what kind of history can I learn about here on this adventure?
Well, history gets easier. The older you get, it gets easier because it's just your life.
That's true. And I've got a lot of history now.
So, what kind of interactions or history can you experience on the adventure? So there's interactions with architecture. So as I mentioned, the 100-year anniversary of the building. So we have a lot of facts, but also you're going to different architectural structures and buildings and learning about their history, who built them. There's also the community history. So you're learning a lot about how did Lynn Valley get started and what were they concerned with? And you find out that, they were really into education and starting a school, and they kept having all these kids. And not only did they have Lynn Valley Elementary School 1, but they had 2. And then when that got to 3 and then 4. So we're actually the 4th Lynn Valley Elementary School building. And then you also get to interact with sculptures. We have some art sculptural pieces that are part of the adventure. And again, like I said earlier, you're getting to look at archival photographs, and you're getting to interact with these videos, where the videos were really, I have to say, are a really great way to pack as much into the adventure as possible. And I really enjoyed that because I found that sometimes the word count isn't, as long as you might want it. As an archivist, I'm always interested in listening and sharing and telling stories, and the videos are a great way to do that.
Mm-hmm. From the chat, we have Felix, who says Lynn Valley is great to visit.
Thank you, nice. Felix.
And, I'd love to visit. I can't right now. For some reason, I haven't figured this out yet. Okay, I have.
Yeah.
But I want to ignore it and move on, and that's not working for me. since I can't get there right now, how long is this available going, or how long is this adventure going to be available for people to come and visit and explore, learn, enjoy?
Yeah, sure. So we launched it recently at end of September as part of BC Culture Days. And so the great thing about it is BC Culture Days, because of COVID, this year they made it 1 month long. So we've been really enjoying doing a lot of other activities around the geocache adventure that support it. But it will be online for at least till the end of this year, if not longer. I mean, I feel kind of precious about it. I want it to be on there forever, and we'll just add more adventures as we go along.
Sounds great. So you've put a lot of work into this, I can tell. And I know you said it was your first geocaching experience, but you've probably got some great stories that you might like to share through creating the adventure and everything. Can you give us some great stories?
Well, I can definitely give a shout out to the person who did most of the hard work, because it actually wasn't me. So Brian Wood is a really great master's student here at UBC in the graduate program in archival studies. And in addition to being the archivist at North Vancouver Museum and Archives, I am an adjunct professor at UBC. And so in March of 2020, Brian was in one of my classes and he wrote a term paper on how we can make history and archives more dynamic. And he was looking at virtual reality applications and just trying to find out any place all over the world that has done something interesting to make people of all ages be able to interact with history and archives. And then COVID hit, and of course, the archives realized we needed to take our history outside of the building and bring it to the community and online. And, you know, how are students going to come into the archives? They can't. So can we do something that appeals to younger historians and families? So we decided, okay, let's think of this. And Brian Wood came. He was an intern for the summer with the NVMA, and he worked really, really hard. And he transformed what had originally been a virtual or a physical walking tour called Shaketown that used to be led by our museum curator, Karen Dearlove. And so he turned it into this amazing geocache adventure. We learned together about geocache adventures. They seemed like a great new offering of a service for the archives to bring, and a way for people to get out of the house but still be, you know, distant and be able to be together and do things. And yeah, so I have to thank Brian Wood. Really, he did all the work, and I think it's actually pretty cutting edge for archives.
Well, that's great. And we all, we'd like to give a shout out right here to Brian Wood for all of his contributions. And to you for your, you know, orchestrating and putting it all together, because I'm sure you had a lot of work to do in it too. And you're here to take credit for it. No, not take credit. It's great to give shout out to Brian. And yeah, there's a lot of people, like anything, there's almost always a team putting stuff together behind the scenes that often go unappreciated. So it's great to do that. In the chat, I know that you said Felix said Lynn Valley is great to visit, but Doramore said, you know, I rarely get over to the North Shore, but it looks like it's time to plan a trip over the big bridge, or big bridges.
Awesome.
And Keats says, I know Lynn Valley well. My dad used to live there. It's a great neighborhood.
Love it. Thank you. Lynn Valley love. Great.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, you did answer one of my questions. This already was a tour of some sort that you've converted into something virtual.
Absolutely.
ASM times 2 wants to know, how many locations are there on this tour?
That's 9.
9?
I think it's 9.
Oh, I think that was a gang symbol. No.
Archivists don't know how to do that.
No, don't even go there.
Oh, nice.
Okay, is there any other chat there? I'm looking through to see if I missed anything.
We got Boomer365 who's giving bad advice. That if you want to go to the North Shore and you're in the U.S., all you have to do is say you're going to Alaska.
Yeah, that's not something I'm going to do anytime soon.
Yeah. And Brian Lang just says no.
No. Yeah.
Bad Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that, folks. It will still be there. You'll get
It
to
will.
enjoy it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna go have fun there someday, just not today. Let's see. There was a CRS 98 up there somewhere? I don't see it in the chat, but he says here I was worried about earthquakes when we were going to talk about Shaketown. Today was earthquake drill at work, and I think that was for everybody. It was the
It was. It was the I don't know if it's just Washington, the Great Washington Shakeout.
I think it was
so earthquake drill
yeah.
day for the entire state. Oh, you had one too?
Yeah.
University of Victoria did theirs today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on 10:15 at 10:15. So
There you go.
All
What,
right.
what would happen if there was a real earthquake right then? I
people
mean,
would-
everybody's going to be prepared.
That's
but
right.
are they really? Oh,
People would say, "Wow, this is really realistic. They really went all out this year."
how'd they do that?
Yeah. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. Preparations like that are those things we hope we never have to use. You know, I hope I never need the skills I learned in my CPR class.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good to be prepared. I just don't want to have to use them.
Yeah.
Right? Boomer 365. Sorry.
That's all right. We forgive you. Just stay here in the chat and we'll have fun.
Oh, well, Jessica, this sounds great. We're excited to do it. If our listeners wanted to know more about the geocache adventure of Shaketown, where should they go?
Thanks for asking. Okay, so our website, NVMA, stands for North Vancouver Museum and Archives, nvma.ca. So you go there, right on the front page, you'll see an image that says Shaketown GeoCache. Click on that, and it actually goes to a really great blog post by Brian Hood about his experience creating the geocache adventure, what he learned, what were some of his obstacles, stumbling blocks. There's links to it. And then we will also be putting a link to this once it goes on YouTube, will be there as well.
Well, that's great.
Very nice. Once we're done here, it's up on YouTube. Poof, just like that. All the wonders of computers these days. Now I sound old.
You are old.
Okay. Well, you didn't have to agree with me so quickly.
Well, you know, that's what teammates are for.
Okay, thanks.
Just remember, I'm older than you are. All right. Is there anything else we need to touch base on before we jump into the after show, which is we know what some listeners are just anxious to hear anyway?
That's all they really want anyway. We do have to thank some people.
Yes, we'd like to thank Landsharks. They are our corporate Denali level sponsor. Landsharks.ca. That's Landsharks with a Z. They're the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, and they still ship online orders daily, COVID or not.
That's right. And we want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Landsharks, JP Geo Designs, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cachely. Now, if you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link that's somewhere on that cachingnw.com website. And of course, we like to thank the Geo Travelers,
Segehove,
Ackerdoc,
T-Sayer,
On a Boat,
Wino Seattle,
Camp Clan,
Boomer 365,
Fairwood West,
You Talks to Rocks,
B Pendragon,
Subway Mark,
GSM ×2,
Alarobrick,
LG 9000, my favorite appliance,
yeah, Team Noltex,
Genies,
Billy Robson,
Greenwords,
Logwork,
Broncos fan for life,
Tech Magnet,
Kitty Quest,
Seabex Tribe,
Wet Coaster,
Doramore,
Kid Vegas 19,
Antaeus,
Keats 94,
CRS 98,
Kev MacD,
MC3 Cats,
Sprouter,
M-Nerve,
Kennel Barb,
Limax,
GeoNap Pros,
Trexer Zero,
and our newest patron, Just Finding Our Way. Apparently they're still lost.
It's okay. Just finding our way to geocaches.
That's right.
All right. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If someone wanted to reach out and ask you any more questions or details about it, how would you like somebody to get in touch with you?
Well, you can email archives, archives, at dnv, districtnorthvan.org.
All right. I'm
Nice.
sure.
I pasted that in the chat too, so people
Perfect.
will be able just
I don't
to
have to spell that.
copy and paste. Right?
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for having me on this fantastic show. It's
Oh, thank you.
the community.
We loved having you. And the rest of you listeners, if you're new here and you're still trying to figure out who's who, he's Chris of the Northwest over there. I'm Wits End. Land Monkey is off on assignment tonight. But we're all out there on social media. You can find us at the Geocaching Message Center. You can find us on social media. Like I said, you can head over to cachingnw.com/hosts. There you can find all kinds of information, bios, contact information, and other stuff.
But most of all, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. Call into 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment, ask us a question, or mail us your old Halloween costumes, because I have no idea what to do any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, please click the link on Patreon. Please click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Give us a thumbs up or a review. The show's produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2020 by Chris Umfenauer. And now, folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show. See, I told you the echo would wake up.
You know, I've read that about 377 times, and I still can't get it right one time.
You'll get it right someday.
I know.
That's okay.
You know, we got some interesting questions in FATAS tonight.
Yeah.
Somewhat related, but they don't have to be. That's the beauty of the after show. Now, the hashtag FATAS, that's FTAS, for the after show. See, we have to spell everything out, Jessica. I mean, it's not just you. It is a time for us to get
Choke and gag.
up.
To chat about anything and everything you feel like. Stuff that came up, questions you thought about, questions related to archives in North Van, and questions related to Shakey's Pizza. You name it, we'll chat about it.
And here I am again. Thank you very much.
His dulcet tones have returned.
You know, I think I'm fighting off a cold, and I still can't figure out how I could have gotten a cold. I'm washing my hands better than I ever have. I'm wearing a mask. I'm social distancing. I work from home. How did I get a stinking cold?
'Tis the season.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
as you mentioned, just finding our way contributed. Are there still Shakey's Pizzas places in the Northwest?
Yes, there are.
I love that they picked up on that. I just threw that out about Shakey's Pizza, Shaketown. Yeah. We used to have Shakey's Pizzas in Southern California, as I recall, when I lived down there.
I saw Monkey Cakes respond that there's one in Renton.
I knew there was.
I think there's one in Olympia.
I didn't know if it was still open or not, but I remember it being pretty good.
You know, I grew up in Ohio, so I never had Shakey's Pizza, but I hear it's good. My wife grew up here, and she says it was decent.
I never grew up at all.
Well, you got older.
I did get older. That's true.
You got older than me.
Let's see. Moving on. Greenword says, for the after show, new adventure lab in South Surrey. Yes, it's mine. It's historic Stewart Farm and Elgin Heritage Park. So, Jessica, there's something you could head out and try that. You can try your new geocaching skills on a adventure lab in South Surrey.
Very cool.
Whenever I hear Elgin, I think of the Chicago area. Apparently, there's more than one Elgin in the world.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Greenword's new.
Oh, yeah.
Doramore knows, too.
Doramore is a local hero. Now, you know, she's won the show just by a couple of comments here and there. And she came up with the whole idea of the glow. So, you know, the show really probably wouldn't be where it was without Doramore. But today, Doramore saved the life of a frog while out caching. So that frog now owes Dora Moore a life debt. And I think that means something in some cultures, but I have no idea.
So the frog was in a bike lane and she stepped out so the oncoming bike rider wouldn't squish it. And all I can picture is the Frogger video game. Is this like this frog saw that somewhere and decided to reenact it? What was the deal with this frog? Do you have a death wish? I don't know.
Or he was looking for a challenge.
That would be a challenge, you know. What goes through the mind of a frog anyway?
Usually a tire.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
Thanks for doing that for me.
Frogs. Frogs eat flies.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we're not.
I'm sure there are many other, mammals and reptilians that would love to eat a frog, but I can't think of one.
You know, they say eat a bullfrog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. And
Have you tried
MC3 Cat says the show glows because of Dora Moore.
Yes, it does.
You know what else we're glowing about? Keats94 is glowing about the fact that there are 2,905 will attends for GeoWoodstock. So close. So if you're out there and haven't posted a will attend for GeoWoodstock, it's going to be right up there in Vancouver.
In Surrey.
Yeah.
No, in Abbotsford or Surrey?
It's all the same to us in the south of the border.
Yeah, I know.
Different.
Yes. Yeah, I believe it's at Abbotsford. Land Monkey would set us straight were he here.
I know. But he's
that's
not.
great, yeah.
So we can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, you can say Fraser Valley if you want.
It's Abbotsford. You mean Fraser Valley?
a couple thumbs down there from Brylang on the Fraser there. Okay, we know it's Fraser Valley. But yeah, if you've not posted a will attend, get out there and post your intentions, and we could make 3,000. You could be number 3,000. Ooh, Dormore even posted Abbotsford in all caps. Okay. Keats94 also has a question. Why don't you take that one?
Keats94 wants to know, has anyone found a geocache during an earthquake? Ooh, that's a really good one. Well, there are not many earthquakes around here.
No, not a lot.
Not a lot. I mean, there are some, and there are times, I've felt them. Like, oh, what was that? And later come out, there was an earthquake. Wouldn't that help you find the geocache a little bit by everything shaking? It's going to pop out a little sooner.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
I'm going to go. I'm going to answer his question by saying yes.
Okay, good.
Someone somewhere has found a geocache during an earthquake, because actually there are earthquakes happening almost all the time. They're just sometimes very small and you don't notice them. Whether anybody has found a geocache during a significant earthquake, I'm going to change my answer to probably. And if anybody in the chat has done that, well, answer for yourself. Please let us know.
GSM times 2, who lives on shaky grounds, has not. I've geocached on shaky grounds, but it wasn't an earthquake.
Okay. Go ahead.
Keith says, an earthquake can shake the cache off a tree.
Yeah. And now, combining a couple of after show questions, I want to know if there's a geocache at the Shakey's Pizza in Renton. Let's go check that out.
We could find it during an earthquake.
Ooh, there you go. Just check all the boxes.
The way you said that, yes, we've probably all found a geocache during an earthquake somewhere.
Yeah, see?
Wasn't where we were, but that doesn't mean that we didn't find it during an earthquake.
All right, well, Jessica's patiently enduring the after show with us here. There was a question for the after show that relates to your adventure there. JD says, how did Shaketown end up with 9 locations? Usually there's 5 or 10. Is this due to the metric conversion?
I would say it's just default newbie. I didn't know it was usually 5 or 10. Yeah, just pure random 9.
I think it's great. Nine's a good number.
Next time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Oh, and I was just going to click the same one.
Dan says there have been events So event caches at the Shakey's in Renton.
So there you go. That's a geocache.
Yeah, see, 9 is good.
Yeah. Any number is better than none.
Yeah, none geocaches is no fun.
This is the kind of constructive and helpful feedback that we get from our lovable chat, our friends.
Oh, 9 finds, no problem for me.
Okay.
Now, Jessica, each one of those locations in the adventure does count as a geocache find. So by going through that whole adventure, we come out with 9 more finds than we had before. So we're all happy for that.
Awesome.
Oh, and yeah.
Yeah.
MC3 Cats can put a geocache by the Shakies.
Well,
We may
of course we need the one.
Yeah.
But you've got to make it shake somehow. Maybe a pizza-shaped container? I don't know.
That could happen. Yeah, maybe you just need to put one there and name it episode 377. And people can figure out what that means.
Or not.
Or not.
You know, the associated web page, put that on there because people never look at that link. It's up there at the top of the page and people skip it.
I do on puzzle caches, but that's, yeah, I forget to check it at other caches.
He likes that. Hey, folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.